This week's In the Field is presented by Gordon's Feed and Pet.
This alfalfa field is one of 2,500 acres nestled right outside the Springfield, Ozark, Rogersville, and Stratford metro areas, all in forage production.
Wacha Farms was started in 2007 when we purchased a farm here in Christian County. We started baling hay for the neighbors and doing a lot of custom work and selling grass hay. Then we built a pretty good customer base in 5 or 6 years, and we had one customer approach us about growing alfalfa. So we put out a 50-acre plot of alfalfa and said, you know, we'll try to grow alfalfa. We came from a farming background in Iowa back in the 90s. We used to farm up there, so we kind of brought some of those practices with us down here.
That first year, they quickly sold out. They currently grow 1,500 acres of alfalfa. With adequate water, they can cut that 1,500 acres 5 different times in one growing season. This equals about 7,500 acres. Wacha Farms primarily serves 2 markets in Southwest Missouri: beef and dairy producers. But in the past, customers were trucking in alfalfa from out of state, adding to the cost.
We started this niche market of growing it here locally. So not only that could save on trucking costs, but they could deal with a local producer that they could trust and rely on to deliver them their feed in a timely manner.
Jason takes pride in the fact that all of his forages are sold to local farmers and ranchers within a 100-mile radius of Ozark. So what is alfalfa? Yeah, it's a clear source of nutrition, but why?
Alfalfa is a perennial legume that we plant. Usually we try to plant in the fall. So the next year is a full year of production, and it has a range of qualities depending on when you cut it. So we try to cut it on a 25 to 30 day schedule. So with all the weather factored in, sometimes it's cut really early, and that's what will produce that high quality dairy feed. And then some later cut for more tonnage, our beef producers enjoy at a lower price. So we kind of have a good mix for both markets. And then there's a lot of sub-markets we get into. We supply goat producers, sheep producers, and even some exotic markets like deer, zebra, and some horses. So there's several different markets for the alfalfa.
Weather plays such a large role in growing forages. And the last 12 months of rainfall throughout Southwest Missouri has been less than ideal. In fact, many areas have seen severe drought.
And that's one reason we grow alfalfa. It is very drought tolerant, and it's very deep rooted, and it can survive longer than some of the grass. But after being without water for almost 70 days, it kind of took a turn, and the yields were decreased substantially. On a good growing season where we have average rainfall and regular temperatures, we'll usually produce between 6 and 8 tons of alfalfa a year. To contrast this year, we will probably only produce between 4 and 5 tons.
But Wacha Farms is diversified. They also grow other types of grasses for their local customers.
Cattle and dairy producers require not only alfalfa, but other forages in their ration. So that's why we thought it was important to also grow some different options besides alfalfa. So we grow a BMR sorghum-sudan that we put up in baleage, a teff grass, and a triticale or rye baleage that we do in the spring. So all of those forages we put up as baleage. So the baleage process is really important to get correct fermentation and to make high quality feed. So we try to cut at early maturity on the sorghum-sudan or the rye or triticale, and then we dry that down to about a 50% moisture. As we're baling the crop, we chop it to a 4 to 6 inch length with the knives in our baler, and then wrap immediately after, sealing out all the oxygen, which is the best thing you can do for good fermentation. After 30 to 40 days, it goes through a fermentation process, and then the baleage is ready to feed at that time. So it looks a little bit different than dry hay, but we'll cut one of these bales open and take a look here after the process is final.
You can smell that sweet smelling. Okay.
So what we end up with is alfalfa that's ensiled.
That sweet smelling baleage is high in protein and serves as a great source of energy to add to any dairy and beef ration.
To learn more about Jason and his team at Wacha Farms, visit them on Facebook and online at wachafarms.com.